I know. Oh. Hi everybody, thank you for joining the 6th episode of Behind the Bouquet. We are here with Heather Cunningham. She wears many hats. The hat we're going to talk about the most today is Wedding Warehouse. We're actually in store. Funny note, Heather was our bride June 24th of 2017. So we've known Heather for quite a while, and we're very impressed at what has come from her planning her own wedding to right this moment. We'll obviously show you around the store in a little bit, but we wanted to chat first. And additionally, Heather also runs Brides of Long Island, the Facebook group, which I'm sure many of you are either part of or know of. So hi, thanks so much for having us in your store.
Absolutely.
I think the first time I was in here was about a year ago. My mom and I dropped off a poinsettia.
Yes.
And it was like the only red thing in here. And the store did not look like this. It was very beautiful, but
it was empty.
It was empty compared to what's going on here, but the store looks really beautiful.
Thank you.
So first, congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
I think a great point to start with would be maybe give us a little bit of your background, and then we can chat about how this kind of launched and became the Wedding Warehouse.
All right. My background, I graduated from Hofstra University in 2013 with my business degree in marketing, something I'm very passionate about and I get to use a lot more now. Right out of college, I got an admin job doing a lot of basic business stuff, accounts payable, receivable, payroll, HR, which definitely helped me now that I have my own business and I perfected it and kind of do what I want from what I learned.
And see what works for you.
Yeah. So that was definitely a good job to have to set me up for this now. I got engaged in 2014. That's when I think my mom called you and said SOS.
She's engaged.
Yeah. And I guess from that, I really just think of all the bridal magazines and blogs and websites, and the one thing that I felt was lacking was kind of a space just to talk to other girls going through the same thing at the same time. There were other Facebook groups, but something was missing. I mean, I needed more of a home community that was just on Long Island. As many of you know, Long Island has a special breed of brides. We kind of do weddings a little different than in other parts of the country. So it was nice to kind of lay some roots down to start a group specifically for the brides of Long Island. And once that took off, I kind of got the idea of, all of this stuff that we accumulate over time. What do you do with it after? Am I ever going to have a party again where I need 20 table numbers or a card box? I would love to have a first birthday and put out a card box and get lots of nice gifts, but there's no use for it. It takes up space in your mom's attic, your basement, your new apartment, your garage. So I had the idea to kind of have it all in one spot where the girls could come and they can sign their items with me. So after their weddings, they bring everything to me. We put it out on the floor for sale. And once the item sells, the bride gets paid for her items that she has no use for anymore. So it's great. I mean, it's recycling, it's saving money. And if you think about the items that you have set up at your wedding, how used is a sign that's leaning on a mantle? It's getting looked at, So that's kind of where that whole idea stemmed from, and we're here a year now and doing pretty good. I'm liking it.
Did you put any of the items from your wedding in the store?
Yes. So I think my favorite item that I put in, I had lanterns that we had set up in different parts of our venue. The first day that I opened, all of them sold. It was my biggest sale. It was my first sale. Still one of my biggest sales that I've ever had. And I was very excited about that. They've come back into my shop now 4 times. So they've been in a total of 5 different weddings. They actually just sold again a couple weeks ago. And I told the woman the whole story and how they've been in so many weddings across Long Island. And she told me not to get excited that they're not coming back because they're going home with the guests at the end of the wedding. So I won't be seeing those again, but it was nice to see them keep coming back. And
right. Sentimental. You definitely hold on to something. So aside from the lanterns, was there something like the first thing that you put in the shop that is it still here? Has it traveled anywhere?
It is actually something, I have a card box here that it was the first item that I bought for my own wedding. and I ended up not using it because we like to change our minds a million times and buy lots of things. It's come back 4 times now, and it's here in the store now, and I just remember putting it in and setting it up on the table and thinking like, wow, I have merchandise and inventory, and it was just a happy feeling starting to fill up the store with items from other weddings.
So when you, I would say, so this idea originated, let's say 18 months ago,
Give or take.
give or take, and so you opened your doors last December. And is there anything that you would like to tell yourself a year younger?
I would say just to do things right the first time. Maybe start my filing system a little bit earlier. And I think another thing is to ask for help sooner. I had this whole mentality of like, I could do it, I don't need help, I can handle this. And I remember my first Saturday that I was very busy, somebody wanted to see a veil, somebody wanted a headpiece, somebody needed a price, and somebody wanted to check out all at the same time. And my whole, what I pride myself on is customer service and making everyone happy and not having people wait. And it was in that moment that I said, okay, I definitely need help, and I wish I did that a lot sooner, because the help that I have is unbelievable, and I don't know, I would not be where I am now without my employees.
Right. No, that's really great advice. And I guess if we were to talk to you a year ago, do you think this is what you were envisioning?
No. In a way, yes. If I drew a picture of what I thought the store was going to look like, it was very different. Originally, we were going to be in a warehouse.
Okay.
And I went with my grandmother. She came to every meeting with me. My dad came a bunch. My husband came a bunch. And we were looking at 4,500 to 6,000 square foot warehouses. And that's where the name Wedding Warehouse comes in. I wanted big chandeliers everywhere with ceiling draping and twinkle lights, and I was going to paint the concrete floor with glitter. And once we started looking at them, there's no heat, there's no air conditioning, there's holes in the walls. I mean, they're warehouses. They're not cute and pretty. So once we saw this space, I said, all right, maybe this would be a little bit better, especially for my brides coming in, because it is cute in here and it's a lot easier to decorate this space versus 6,000 square feet of industrial space. So,
and I would say we're pretty like smack in the middle of the island. Sunrise Highway is right out the door, and you can easily get here.
Yeah, it's definitely easy to get to, just being on the service road. Lots of parking and nice area.
Yeah. And Heather was mentioning that she has brides coming from Connecticut and Jersey, so it's definitely a destination. There's a buzz about the store because there is nothing like it in the tri-state area. Is that safe to say?
Nowhere in the country. So before we opened, I started researching as much as I could. I said, someone had to have thought of this idea. There's some places online that you can sell stuff, but there's no physical store. Even taking the consignment part out of it, there's not many stores that you can go to for wedding decor. There's, again, everything is online, but a lot of brides want to pick it up, see it, feel it, see the actual color and the size, and we found nothing that had consignment and weddings together in the country. I mean, I have moms come in here, their daughters live in Florida, or they live in Chicago, and they send their parents in to pick up items that they're seeing us post.
Yes, one of my brides and the mother of the bride live in Florida, and we were texting, trying to get some items for the wedding, last minute items, of course. But Heather definitely came through on that.
Yeah.
And also to note, you do printing. So by printing, I mean jackets and robes.
Yep, we offer embroidery for kind of like getting ready outfits for the bride and the bridesmaids. We do the denim jackets. We can do hats. Options are pretty unlimited, anything that you want to get.
And is everything in this store consignment, or you purchase something that you see online that you think would be, a big hit?
So I would say half of the store is consignment. The other half is either made locally by local artists and crafters, and the other items we order in. So our headpieces, our jewelry, those are always all brand new. We don't take those in used. Mainly the decor items on the floor. The welcome signs, the table numbers, card boxes, those type of items come in from other brides, lanterns. So we try to keep the accessories new, because a lot of brides want to keep that after their wedding. It has a lot of sentimental value. But yeah, it's all mixed in together. as a person coming in not knowing the store, you wouldn't know what's used, what's new.
Mhm.
We don't take in anything used that looks used. It has to look new. A lot of people come in here, they don't realize we're consignment, and they just think they're shopping a regular boutique. So yeah, it's all just a big mix.
And is there, I know we were talking briefly a couple minutes ago about people bringing in, you know, more than gently used items. So how is that conversation, like something that you've perfected to not hurt someone's feelings, or, you know, to do it gently?
See, that's something I would also tell myself a year ago when we first opened. We took in everything under the sun. If it was scratched, if it had names on it, if it wasn't up to date with current trends. And by doing that, I was only hurting myself, because every inch of my floor has a value to it. It's, you know, my real estate. And, you know, some items that come in, if they're broken, we can't take it, and I let them know we can't sell something that's broken. It's harder to let people know when the item is something they've made or their great-grandmother made, and it's just, I know it's not going to sell. I've been here doing this a year now, and we've test run a lot of different items from a lot of different angles and price points, and I'm just honest with them. And, you know, especially if their great-grandmother made it, they should keep it.
Right, that's something that they'll want down the road.
Right, so, you know, I let them know, especially, you know, if my grandmother made something for my wedding, I'm keeping it. So we're just as honest as we can be, that it might not be a good fit for our store, it might be better in another store. So we have a list posted on our website of items that we take, items that we don't take. If it's not on there, I say bring it in, we'll check it out. We take chances on things sometimes, and, you know, we go from there.
And can a bride just walk in for a consignment appointment, or you have to?
Yeah, you have to make an appointment. It takes about a half hour to an hour, depending on how many items that they have. And it's pretty quick. A lot of the items we've seen 100 times, we know them. Or we just, you know, again, from doing it for this amount of time now, we know a price point that works. If it's an item we've never seen before, I'll ask them, you know, how much did you pay for it? How much is it worth to you? How much do you want to sell it for? So yeah, they would have to make an appointment. They come in, we do it all together. A lot of times the girls will donate items. They don't even want money for it. So a lot of times stuff is just dropped off, and they leave it as is, and if we can sell it, we do. If we can donate it, we donate it.
Have you ever had like a box outside your door?
Yes.
Like, and you drive up?
Yeah. We had a bride drop off big marble seating carts, it's like what you would use to tile a bathroom, and it had their guest names written on them. So I just had to pick up the box and walk it outside, because it was personalized with random people's names on it. We've gotten a couple, what I call mascots, some stuffed animals that sing, and some funny things I've never seen before, some scary things, some stuff that's not wedding related at all.
Gotcha.
I think they just think it's a consignment shop, and they drop it.
Is there an item in the store that's like sells like hotcakes?
I would say our Dazzle Sticks. It's a jewelry cleaner pen. Yeah. So these are very popular. There are Dazzle Sticks. It's basically a tiny little pen that you twist up the bottom, and the jewelry cleaner comes up the top. You clean your ring, you wash your hands, and you're good to go. So this is something that's kind of hard for us to keep in stock. It's awesome to have in your bag. I would say our Brides of Long Island hoodies are also another one that's hard to keep in stock. Those go pretty fast.
I bet you that's now, like, you get engaged if you're on Long Island, and you join the group.
Yep.
And then you get your sweatshirt. That's kind of
it's
how
like your
pretty much
membership
goes.
sweatshirt. Yeah. We have tank tops for the summer. Those aren't as popular. The girls love the hoodies. And, you know, we tell them bring them with you on your honeymoon. We love to see, you know, we call it Bowley around the world. And then they'll send us their pictures with the Eiffel Tower behind them, or, you know, just different places across the world that are special, and we love posting that. So I think a lot of them get it just so they can have the picture.
So let's chat a bit more about Brides of Long Island. So when you were engaged, you said, you know, you needed a place to chat with people who are going through the same things. And now, how many followers are in the group?
We have 7,000 members.
Wow. that's a lot of brides. And would you say that they're all getting married, or do you still have like alumni brides who stay in and enjoy the conversation?
We definitely have alumni brides, and we keep them in the group because the girls that have gone through the weddings, those are the ones that you want advice from. You know, things that you can think you're so prepared for your wedding. You've seen them, you've watched videos, you've read books. Until you have your wedding, you have no idea what it's like to be behind the scenes. And that's what it is. You're like an actress in your own movie. And so we keep those brides on to say like, no, that didn't work. Don't do that. Or don't forget this. And, you know, I think a lot of the tips that the girls give are from the married ones, because they know what it's actually like. And, you know, some of them leave. We do have you graduate to the wives and mothers group of Long Island, which is a totally different conversation. That's more based on mortgages and trying to have a baby.
I've never even heard of that one.
Yeah, that's a lot smaller. But yeah, I mean, the group is amazing. We had a big party this summer that we threw for the brides, called the Brides of Long Island Summer Soiree. We gave away about $100,000 worth of swag. I mean, just photography packages and boudoir sessions and just everything. We gave away a wedding gown. So it was just, you know, all of these local companies coming together that respect and appreciate what Brides of Long Island have done for their businesses and helping them grow, that they gave back to us by giving us these items, which was really cool. It's my proudest thing that I've created. I mean, I have girls come in here and tell me that I have helped them in so many ways that they thank me, and I never really thought about, you know, what happens after. You know, they're just coming to the group to plan and ask questions. Well, now girls send me pictures of the bride and the girl she met in the group, and it's her bridesmaid, or it's the godmother of her child, that all of these connections have been made in these friendships. And so, like, to me, that's amazing.
I think you've almost taken the knot and like wedding wire and made it, you know, personal. And since it's such a niche market, you're dealing with Long Island, so, you know, you can contain that, you can have it, and then you're adding a personal aspect, so it's kind of what they should be doing, almost.
Right. So I think it's, the one thing I like to say is I'm always on the side of the bride. And the websites like The Knot and Wedding Wire, those are all, it's advertising space, and yes, you can get reviews, but I rather just talk to a girl and be like, what happened? Like, you know, what photographer did you use, or what MC did you pick, or, you know, did you negotiate that? Do you tip at your engagement shoot? You don't get that from The Knot and Wedding Wire.
Right.
This is like you're sitting down having coffee with 7,000 other brides to be. And I think the best part of it is, I mean, from my experience when I was engaged, nobody wanted to talk about my wedding. Like, enough already. Every single day, something else. Nobody cares the shade of gold on my invitations. You did. You did. You definitely did. But my mom, she didn't want to hear it anymore. My husband, I don't even know. But with this group, everybody cares what shade of gold your invitation print is going to be in, and we'll tell you. And post pictures. We want to see it.
So if you post something, how many comments will you get? Like,
it depends what the topic is. So generally the posts that get the most action is when a girl has to decide between two gowns. Ooh. And she wants, you know, some of them will say, you know, be nice. Some of them will say, give me the good, the bad, the ugly. And we're very honest with them.
I can't believe they're actually posting pictures of their gowns. Like, because usually that's what you do at, you know, your dress appointment. You have your whoever is close with you, your mom, a cousin, a best friend. Yeah. But so now it's going on social media.
Yeah. So we do have a rule of what is shared in the group has to stay in the group. And I want to say,
I have like no clue about any of this.
Yeah. So I want to say 99.9% of our girls follow that rule and respect that rule. And they, you know, they say, please don't share this with anyone. It's my dress. And I think because we're all brides, you would never do that. You respect that, you know, wish from that bride. We also offer anonymous posts. So say there is a very sensitive subject that comes up and a bride wants opinions from everybody, but she doesn't want to expose herself. It could be financial. It could be sad, you know, if God forbid there was something going on in a relationship and the bride just needed help. You know, how do I approach my fiance about this? Or maybe a problem with a mother-in-law. So the bride will submit this anonymous post and we post it for her. So she can read the comments and the advice from other brides, without exposing herself. So that's a good
Genius.
outlet. Yeah, and it's helpful for other people too, because a lot of questions are similar. You know, say you have a cousin that you don't want to invite to your wedding, but it's going to hurt your uncle. What do? This cousin acted out and he doesn't deserve to be at my wedding. How do I handle that? Well, we'll try to help you. You know, but then there's other brides that say, oh, I'm going through the same thing, or I just dealt with this. This is what happened. Right. So those are very helpful. We do get some funny ones that come in. We definitely have a lot of characters in the group that keep things exciting and silly sometimes. But the one thing I have to say is that we're pretty drama-free. We really try to tell the girls, you know, you have to be respectful of one another. Wedding planning is so stressful, and everyone has a different opinion, and we basically say to the group, if you're asking a question, understand that the responses are opinions, they're not must-dos. I don't believe, obviously there's wedding etiquette, but you have to do what makes sense to you. And, you know, ask for advice, and you have to give advice nicely. Constructive criticism is great, but when it's done in a kind manner.
That should just be like advice for life.
Yeah.
Wow, so it's really incredible what you've created, and you definitely have the vendors talking, you know, on the whole other side of it, because like, oh crap, someone like, we need to rectify this, that something happened and it's on the brides of Long Island, like, how do we fix this or make ourselves better or address it or anything? So I definitely think, you know, help keep us in check. It's an honest opinion, and just like you said, you want to open a conversation with all these people going through similar things. Like from our side, like we want to have a conversation with these people as well. We're real people. We want to, you know, make your wedding the best wedding we can, and it's all about teamwork, and doing that involves like an open and honest conversation.
Absolutely.
So tabling brides of Long Island for a second, back to Wedding Warehouse. Some inventory that is new are the dresses, right?
No, those do come in from other brides.
I meant new, like it's a new added, like.
Yeah, within the past couple of months, we really started taking in those dresses. We call it the other white dress. I think from the time I got engaged to the time of my honeymoon, I accumulated 12 to 15 other white dresses. This was for my bridal shower, my engagement party, engagement shoot, rehearsal dinner, the honeymoon, bachelorette party, and of course, you know, I had a rehearsal dinner, I need one dress, I ordered 5. And I didn't return any of them. So this is great because, you know, you go into a store and you need a white dress. Say you're in Macy's. Okay, they have maybe 3 options. Are they bridal? Okay, now you're down to 1 option. Do you like it? I don't like it. So these dresses are all for the same occasion from the same age group of women, all in different shades of white. So it kind of just, it works that they're pre-picked out and they're all here to shop from.
And it just goes with the whole boutique-y feel.
Yeah, I love it.
As a female business owner, have you like had any struggles, maybe like the wrong word, but you know, have you had to overcome anything, or do you have any advice for other female business owners?
I would say as a female business owner, there's definitely certain things that come up. My one piece of advice would be to, since I went through it, if you want to do something, do it. Don't sit in a job that you hate like I did for 4 years and not have your dream. If you have an idea and you have the means, or you can figure out how to get the means, do it. I would say a unique situation that came up being a female business owner that I had to deal with was somebody actually submitted an anonymous post to my group and asked what was going to happen to my store once I had my baby. And at first it really ticked me off. I got really angry, and then it kind of upset me because I don't want any other woman to feel like she can't do it all.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my baby. My store is going to stay open. The baby's going to come to work with me, and I'm going to be a businesswoman, a mother. I'm going to go home. I'm going to cook. I'm going to clean. If my husband saw that, I mean it.
Yeah.
I'm going to try really hard. But I just want women to realize that, like, we can do all of these things. And the fact that somebody asked me Like, is the store going to close? You know, no.
I know.
It's just, I want everyone to have more confidence in themselves and what they're capable of, because we can do it all.
Man, you're preaching to the choir. I have 2 kids, and it's not always easy, or in fact, it's never easy. Like, they always get sick on the busiest day, you know, when you have 17 meetings. And so it's constantly juggling. But for me, wedding planning is something that I love. Like, it's, you know, it's my baby. LaBella Planners is, you know, I've worked really hard for this.
Yeah.
And I thrive at it. I'm good at it. And, you know, I've gained trust from clients and, you know, my peers. And, you know, my children are part of that as well. So sometimes, you know, they will come on a meeting because it just has to be that way. But it's all getting done.
Right.
It all gets done. You know, if you're a hardworking person, if you hustle, you know, if you organize yourself and make sure you prioritize and do things correctly, and you're honest,
Right.
then, you know, it will all work out.
Right. And, you know, I have, again, going back to what I picture in my head, having my son here in a
Like
few
a little
short weeks.
bassinet.
Yeah, he's just going to be sitting, smiling at the
cradle him.
customers. I have no idea what it's going to be like. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun, but I'm not going to stop my life or one part of my life. You know, just, you make it all work. You make
He's
it
going to
all
be
happen.
so proud of you when he, like, can realize, like, this is something that you've done.
Yeah, if the whole store isn't, you know, completely taken down by him with everything broken and him climbing on the ceiling. Yeah.
Hey, you know, it's a personal touch. It's a personal touch.
Yeah, but I'm excited, and you know, I know that I have a lot of girls that support me through Brides of Long Island, and they know my journey, and they know that I'm pregnant, and they come in here and they ask about it, and you know, one concern was, how is the public going to take a baby being in a store? What if he's crying and the phone is ringing and I don't have help with me now? And you know, you kind of like, who cares? Has kind of come across, because this is my son, this is my store, this is what we got.
Yeah.
This is what we're going to work with. So, but I have a feeling, knowing most of my customers who are fantastic.
They'll be holding
and,
him and helping out.
Right. So I'm sure everyone will give me some time to figure it out and make it work as it comes.
Absolutely. One last thing. Even when I was here a year ago, I was so impressed that you had already like branded yourself. So like everything was branded from, as you can like might be able to see, like the totes that you can take out, like invoices, notepads, and that's so important when, you know, you want to be in people's faces. Where did you get that? Oh, Wedding Warehouse. Like, and then, you know, kind of they can just see it. So I'm very impressed with that.
Yeah. So my dad actually came up with the name. He reminded me that this morning before the interview started.
Notes.
Yeah, he was like, just a reminder. I was the one that came up with that name. We were just driving home from the Thousand Islands. It was my dad, my grandmother, myself, and this whole idea came, and I was like, you know what, I gotta do this. I can't keep talking about it anymore. Like, let's do this. And we were throwing around names, and I love chandeliers. I want to surround myself with chandeliers, and it was, you know, Wedding Warehouse. I like the WWs, and I figured that we could somehow incorporate the W's into the chandeliers, so it's kind of hidden. A lot of people don't realize that there's two W's hidden in the chandelier in the logo. They're in there.
Hi, they are there.
But again, my background is in marketing, so the whole branding aspect to me is so important, and I wanted to have an image and just something that I could look at every day and say, okay, this is what we're working towards. This is the goal. This is how I envision my logo. And, you know, one thing that I wanted different with my logo, everyone in the wedding industry has pretty script and clean lines, and I wanted to stand out. I wanted to be a little different. So that's kind of where the whole look of my logo came in, and I just plastered it everywhere that I could.
Yeah. And I know the next weeks/months are up in the air, but
Yeah.
Where do you see the store going in the next year?
I would love to expand.
Okay.
We definitely need more space because we have lots and lots of inventory that I would just like it a little more spread out. So fingers crossed that we can get the spot next to us one day and expand. I would love to.
Are you going to put down the floors again?
No.
So Heather literally laid these hardwood floors herself.
I did, and I swore it was going to be the last time I put flooring in ever in my life. It was very difficult. 1,400 square feet of flooring. And then I got pregnant and I did it again at home, much smaller space. But no, I won't be doing that. If we get the space, I would definitely have somebody do that for us. So yeah, I would just size-wise would be a big goal for me.
Okay. I mean, I love the feel of like stuff.
Yeah.
So this is definitely boutique-y, and I would, as a bride, I would probably come in here and like freak out. There's so much stuff here, like awesome things.
Girls average 6 laps that they walk around, and every time they say, I didn't see this, how did I miss this? And every time they go around, they put something on the counter and they do another lap. A lot of them says it gets their cardio in, their wedding cardio, and they keep missing things, so they have to look again. So
awesome. Well, do you want to end with anything? Oh, they also have gift certificates.
We do have gift certificates, which are really good for the holidays. We sell lots of those. But I just wanted to thank you so much for coming down and interviewing me. This was really cool.
Thanks for hopping on. You're always one of our favorites, and I love this, connecting. We'll do like a quick, can you turn the camera? You guys just have to see this. And then when they get back. That's Jessie. So we are actually taking the next couple of weeks off, and we will be coming back for Behind the Bouquet, I think the week of January 15th-ish, but we'll announce it and launch it on our social media platforms. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you very much.
You guys all have to come in the store, shop local, let's keep this thing going, and Heather, you've been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And bye, guys.